Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Goodwin of YourBostonSports.com. It's August 17th,
The one up here?
2019. John Corn's joining me. I'm not sure. I think he's still in the green room at the buffet. Oh, there he is.
Oh, here you go. How are you?
Good, good. How
Yeah, glad I could join you.
how was the buffet?
Good, good. I had a chicken salad sandwich.
Just chicken salad?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you. Good for you.
Indeed, yeah. It was great.
We try to treat our
I like
employees.
steak. I like steak tips too. You had the best steak tips last week too. Yeah.
Well,
excellent.
we can't have the same food every week.
No. But yeah, you treat your employees very good.
We try. So, hey, the Red Sox are in pursuit of the wild card, and they're 6.5 games out.
Well, they've been having a disappointing season, but I tell you what, if you're a baseball fan, there's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff going on.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Rafael Devers, and over in the National League, we've had there's 3 teams in the Central that have been within a game and a half each other all year.
Exciting. It's very exciting.
Carl Yastrzemski's grandson hit 3 home runs last night.
And he's going to be at Fenway next
He's
month.
going to be at Fenway next month. There's some fun stuff going on. But this Devers guy is amazing, isn't he?
Yeah. No, in previous conversations with you, I've compared his situation to Xander Bogaerts in terms of Bogaerts being out of position during the 13 World Series, and I said he's a shortstop. In 2014, he needs to be at shortstop. And then what do? They re-signed Stephen Drew I think it was in May, which to me was ridiculous. They need to let this guy develop at shortstop, and they didn't until 2015. Look what he's turned into.
Yeah.
And Devers is doing the same thing, but they didn't give up on him, or they didn't put him out of position. They did give him some time off, and I think he had injury.
Amazing. They're both amazing players.
But you knew they had to let him play.
Yep.
Played out, and his defense has improved greatly.
And he's not just good; he's so animated. He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
He'll get his pitch and he'll foul it off, and he'll how did I miss that? He'll look at the umpire. He'll look at
he knows it.
But he's animated about it.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. You can tell he's having a lot of fun out there.
Exactly.
And Bogaerts, I think 10 years from now we're going to look back at he was the best player they had in a long time.
Right, and he may not win an MVP, but I don't know. I just get the feeling, and I could be wrong because I've been wrong before, once. But I think if you look back 5 years, 10 years, he's going to be really one of the more consistent players in the game.
Oh yeah,
year after year after year.
Oh yeah,
and there's no accident that I have a number 2 on my blue jersey.
He may win an MVP. Devers will.
Well, have you looked at the American League leaders like yesterday? Devers is leading the league in total bases, RBI, doubles, and hits.
He's number 1 or 2 in almost every offensive category in the
except
league.
Home runs.
Okay.
And it's I think it's 43 doubles is the whole reason why, probably the whole reason why he's leading the league in total bases.
And how about Mr. Sale? We keep talking about what a bad year he had, but he was the fastest pitcher to hit 2,000 strikeouts.
Yep. And the previous one was Pedro.
Well.
Yeah. And you look at Michael Chavis. I know he's on the DL right now, but I mean he's kind of saved the left side of that infield. He's played first base, he's played second base.
And I gotta say, Red Sox fans and Red Sox are very negative, but they don't. How many times have you seen a team 6.5 games behind another team on Labor Day and they overtake them?
Sure,
it's happened many times, so they're not out of it.
And
they're out of it. They're not going to win the division, but they're not out of the playoffs.
Right. And I want to point out that they've scored 100 runs more than Oakland, which is a team above them.
Mm-hmm.
They've scored almost 140 more runs than both Tampa Bay and Cleveland. And and I looked at the Red Sox, the Indians, the A's, and the Rays, and they're all 6-4 in their last 10. None of them are setting the world on fire.
It's a mystery why they don't have more. I mean, the starting pitching, these guys are good. I don't get it.
Well, Price has been on the DL. He's on the DL now again, right? With a finger thing. Yeah. I know he got a cortisone shot. But he spent time on the DL. Porcello.
I think Evaldi's starting today.
Oh, is he? No, he was supposed to start last Wednesday,
Yeah.
but he pitched.
They put him in the
Tuesday
bullpen.
night.
He pitched in the bullpen.
In Wednesday night. Yeah, yeah. But in Porcello, if you take away his Cy Young season, his ERA is always over 4. Can the guy get it together? Yes. Can he have a good stretch? Yes. Can he pitch when it really counts late in the season? Yes. But it's the way he's
Can he
pitched
give you a
up
lot of innings? Yes.
right.
He's a bulldog, as
But
they call it.
it's the way he's pitched up till now that is the reason why there's 6.5 games out. Him, and absence of Price, absence of Evaldi, right? Erod is their best starting pitcher, no question, but he's no stopper. Stopper pitches 7 innings on average. He's no stopper. I mean, he's pitched
What
great.
if Evaldi, Erod, and Sale are good down the stretch, and you got Porcello to get you into the 7th inning, and the bullpen can. What if they get hot, and what if Tampa Bay cools off a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, who knows? They could go to another slump, but
Right.
you're not out of it when you're 6.5 games behind.
No. And if you look at it, if the Red Sox were 8-2 right now in the last 10, they'd be 4.5 out. I'm doing the math in my head, so I don't know if that's exactly correct, but what I'm saying. If they had been winning in the past 10, 8-2, 9-1, they would definitely, be 4.5 out, or 6.5 out, 4.5 out, which would make you feel a little better,
I think the reason baseball players are superstitious is because weird, bizarre things happen in baseball, unlike any other.
Yeah.
It's too many strange things happen. I'll never forget 2011, the St. Louis Cardinals. They stunk. They were 500 or below 500 all year. All of a sudden, around Labor Day, they started to surge a little bit, and they got into the second wild card. And they're the ones that had that World Series against Texas. They were down to the last strike twice in the same game. Game 6, and then it went on to win Game 7. See, you never know.
True.
You see strange things in other sports, but not like baseball.
Yeah. And the Red Sox played one game under protest.
Oh yeah.
Against Tampa, right?
And
Or is it Toronto or Tampa? I think it was Tampa.
Tampa.
Because of their crazy substitution that our friend Angel Hernandez screwed up.
I got to say this.
Oh no! Here we go. Go ahead.
Somebody's got to do something with the umpires. They're awful. You don't hear stuff like this with football or NBA. Well, I guess NBA officials got accused of being crooked from time to time. But you just don't.
Oh, they were accused and convicted, actually.
Yeah, but you don't hockey. Let's say hockey and football. You don't see this. You don't see this kind of when Angel Hernandez is more known than the third baseman for the New York Mets. Yeah. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong when you got a guy like Joe West and Angel Hernandez are just as famous as the players. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
And there's something wrong when they got to review all these plays and they're wrong. Remember the postseason last year? Three times in one inning he was wrong.
Yeah.
What was he doing there?
Right. And plus,
if a third baseman was that bad, he'd be in AAA.
Well, but they, I believe that they do sanction and fine umpires. They just don't make it public, probably because the union doesn't want them to.
But why is a bad umpire in the majors and not in AA?
Yeah.
A bad player is.
Right.
That's the question I have. I don't get it. They must have some kind of powerful.
Well, they do have. They do have a union, and I think the union is a little bit less powerful. Since they made all the umpires umpire in both leagues. There used to be such a difference with American League umpires versus National League umpires, down to where the chest protector was either external or under the shirt. And the strike zone was different in the National League versus the American Leagues, but they've changed that.
I mean, I understand an umpire making a mistake is part of the game, just like a center fielder making a mistake. I understand that. That's okay. All right? What I don't understand is why they act like the fans came to see them. Some guy brought his kid to Fenway Park to see his favorite player, and his favorite player gets thrown out of the game because Angel Hernandez has a hair across his butt.
Yeah.
There's something wrong there. You don't see that in hockey or football or basketball.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
Do you?
No, no. You know, with
They're
the
just waiting for some player to give them crap so they can throw them out.
and you know what? With replay, there's no arguing.
Yeah.
That's gone by the wayside. As a matter of fact, when there's an argument, I'll tune in. You know, and the thing is, with this instant replay,
Yeah, there's something wrong with these guys.
you know, replay has it down to the how many frames per second, which the calls weren't meant to be made in 5 frames, you know,
No.
30 or 60 frames per
No.
or 90 frames per second of super slow mo.
Yeah, the officiating in baseball is not. There's something wrong with it. It's not
Yeah.
good. You know, so
Yeah.
that's my gripe for.
Sure, and the Angel Hernandez thing, you know, with Tampa, where he didn't establish what the batting order was after the substitution, where the pitcher went to first base for one play, one batter, and then came back to the pitcher's mound. That's his job. That's incompetence.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's not knowing the rule book, but that's his job.
I mean, Joe West is a windbag, but at least he's a good umpire.
You know
okay?
what? I've come around to respect Joe West
He's a good umpire.
as an umpire. How he does his job.
He trains umpires. The umpires love. He's very good at what he does. But he okay. So he's a jerk. So this guy, Angel, he's terrible.
Yeah.
What's he doing in the major leagues? If a team had a terrible second baseman, he wouldn't be in the
Right.
major leagues. That's the part I don't get.
And Joe West is also a country music singer.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Joe West is a country music singer. Yeah.
He was behind the home plate when we saw Buckholz pitch that
That's right.
no hitter. Remember?
The no hitter 2000,
2007.
2007.
Yep.
And no, I think it was
2007. It was September
2007. Okay, yeah.
September
1st.
1st, 2007.
Yep.
Yep.
I swear I remember this in that game. There was a strikeout or something, and when Joe West got the ball, instead of throwing it to the pitcher, he threw it to the third baseman. Do you remember that?
No.
Or am I thinking
No.
incorrectly?
I remember the last strike, the last pitch of the game was strike 3, and Joe West had a blast calling strike 3.
Yeah.
He took you know how they take like 45 minutes and they go like,
Yeah.
he was he knew he had just umpired a no hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid I have a streak intact.
You do?
They've lost both games I went to this year so far.
Hmm.
If there's another game in the playoffs or whatever, I'm kind of nervous because at one time I was on like a 10-game losing streak. It was probably before '04, but I was on a big time losing streak. Any game I went to, they lost.
I went twice with you, right?
Yeah,
I think it was the only. Yeah, those were the only times I went this
yeah,
year.
yeah. And you
I'm
got a
going-
game coming up.
I'm
Coming up
going
next
up
month.
Yep. I'm taking my sister. She was funny. I was over. I was over her house before you and I went to the game, and she's like, "Oh, you're going to Fenway?" I go, "Yeah." I never go anywhere. I go to the grocery store. I go. I got tickets in September. You want to go? So
Does she kind of come to the conclusion that she's gonna have to spend a couple hours in the car with you both ways?
well, she's gonna bring earmuffs and tranquilizers and
Yeah, she should bring her
lots of loud music
her
and
noise canceling headphones, corn canceling headphones.
OxyContin, painkillers. Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean,
I always
6.5
I always get tickets for the end of the season just
Yeah.
in case. Because 2 years ago, I went to a game. It was the second to last game of the season, and they had clinched the division.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was that boring? You know, in
well,
terms of it's already done.
you knew they were gonna.
Yeah,
You knew they were gonna. They were like, I don't know when it must have been about a week before the season ended.
Oh, okay.
Because they were like 6 games out in front, and they
So,
quit.
so they had clinched before the game you went to, or
that game they
clinched that game.
They
That's
clinched,
exciting.
They clinched.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I remember you and I went to a September game. I don't know what year it was in the last 5 years where they were totally out of it. And it was just the most boring thing I've ever been to. It was like, it was like watching paint dry.
Do you remember about 20 years ago, you and I going to a game, and it was, I forgot who it was. He was getting shelled in the first, I mean, they gave like 9 runs in the first inning, and it was raining. We left. It's the only time I ever left, like in the first or second inning.
That wasn't
This was
wasn't we were in the bleachers.
No, this was decades ago.
Yeah.
I forgot.
This is
who
how
it was.
long we've been going to games
Yeah.
together. Can you believe that?
It's awful, isn't it?
30
Yeah.
something.
It's the worst 30 years of my life. And I'm only 26.
Yeah. Every time I go to a game, I look next to me, it's you. I don't think I remember that one. I don't think I remember that
Who
one.
the heck was that?
I mean, I remember seeing Mark Clear blow a whole game. Of course, he blew every game. Well, not every
It
game.
might have been him.
He was a reliever, though. Mark clear the bases, which he did every time. Every time he pitched. Well, not every time. I'll say not every time he pitched, but a lot. So I have to explain to our viewers that I know there are people watching, but we're not seeing this side of the camera. So we're not ignoring you if you're commenting. We appreciate the comments and we appreciate you watching. We're just not looking at that side of the camera in this
When do you
studio
appreciate
setup.
anybody?
I appreciate everybody.
Oh. What you think? Did you catch the game the other? It was last week. Evaldi was pitching, and Jerry Remy and O'Brien. Evaldi's grandmother asked Evaldi to go get Jerry's autograph. They were laughing. I think he's playing with these Hall of Fame guys, and she wanted your autograph. Well, maybe I guess she likes me. I don't know. It was just funny. It was just funny. Her grandson's a major league player, and she's playing with guys like J.D. Martinez, and she goes up and gets Jerry. She wants Jerry's autograph.
Well, I wonder if
It's pretty cool.
Is she been a Red Sox fan? And knows Jerry Remy well enough?
I don't know. It just sounded funny,
Yeah.
So what I don't know. What do you want? What you want my autograph for? I don't know. I forget how they were saying it, but it was kind of fun listening to it.
Well, so what I want to point out that we talked about before off camera is that Mr. $30 million. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit arrogant here, but $30 million is really the third best player on the team, Mookie Betts. He's heating up. Obviously, he got 21 home runs, but you look at we already talked about Devers and Bogarts. Betts he's not the forgotten man, but third best on the team.
You know what? He gets $30 million from somebody.
You think?
Oh yeah, but they're going to hang on to Devers and Bogarts.
So there was a statement that came out that said if he wants to stay, they'll pay him. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Maybe he wants to. Maybe we got him. Maybe we're reading him wrong.
Well, he's not a Jacoby Ellsbury in terms of as soon as my contract's
nobody
up,
is. That guy stays out for 2 years if he has
2 years.
His pinky hurts.
Well, he no baseball activity. I think they took his locker away at Yankee Stadium. But I'm saying he's no Jacoby Ellsbury in terms of as soon as I'm done on with my last contract, I am out of here. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's like that, but you never know. I just hope they don't get into a situation where they trade him. His last year like they did with Lester.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope that's not the
Do you
situation.
think J.D. Martinez stays or opts out of his contract?
I think he stays, but I also think that he's very active in the union and has a big part in the next labor contract because he seems very outspoken about how many players were unsigned, going through spring training and after, and how long it took for players to get signed, and that there's something wrong with the system and the owners. That's what he believes.
The player's contract is up in 2021, right?
Yes. And I have full confidence that Rob Manfred will get this done.
There better not be another strike.
I don't think there will be. I think Rob Manfred knows enough of this game. As much as a lot of things he's done we disagree with, including pace of play and the clock running and all this stuff.
I mean, they saw what happened the last strike.
He's no dummy.
They saw what happened the last strike. That it took a couple of years for the public to forgive them for that.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot more than that. Nah, it'll be a disaster if they strike.
Yeah. So, like I said, they need to get on a roll, and and what better team to do it against but Baltimore? And the Yankees, they go walled. The Yankees got walled by Cleveland 2 games ago, and then they beat them yesterday.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
If they win tonight, it's 4 in a row. I mean, who knows? You can't. Too many people got too much figured out all the time. Yeah. Oh, this guy's not going to have a good. This guy's going to. He's going to hit 20 home runs this year. They're going to end up. They're going to win 90 games. You don't know.
Who predicted? Who predicted how this rotation would pitch? Terrible. Well,
you just don't know.
Terrible is that too strong a word? I mean, they just not met expectations. Is that better, or they've been terrible? I don't know.
It's the difference between last year and this year is the rotation.
Yeah.
Because their bullpen's been okay.
Right.
And their hitting's off the charts.
Yep. And that spot in the rotation that Evaldi vacated with being on the IL really hurt.
They know how to wear out. They know how to wear out opposing pitching. They're good at two strikes, two strike inning, 2 outs, rallies and stuff like that. And
hopefully Sales figured things out finally with the help of whoever. I don't think it was Levangie. I know they thought that Pedroia figured something out a while back, but. He's had a couple of good starts in a row, and I think they did figure something out. And I read about it. It was a too complicated for me to figure out. I'm
think
no pitching coach.
I think a lot of it's instinct. I think sometimes you got to wonder. These guys pay a little too much attention to, analyzing their, the videos and stuff like that. And because, did you see what the Philadelphia Phillies did? They hired Charlie Manuel
I saw that.
to be
I
their
did
hitting
see that.
coach. Okay, now he's not. He's probably old-fashioned hitting coach. He's gonna be there in a batting cage with him. And one of the Philadelphia hitters already said, Charlie told me, sometimes to be a good hitter, you got to get dumb. You got to rely on your instincts. You got to rely on your just let your natural talent take over.
Yeah.
It's not always, I remember Yaz saying one time, my all-time favorite, not the David Ortiz, Pedro, Schilling, my gosh, what they did for that team, but, my all-time favorite is Yaz. But I remember him saying the only time he doesn't think about baseball is while he's playing. He thinks about he goes, I think about baseball in my sleep.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the field, I don't think about it. He just his instincts take over,
Yep.
And so maybe these guys are getting a little bit too analytical.
Yeah.
And they need a guy like Charlie Manuel.
Right. Right.
Who's just gonna get in the batting cage with them and
I
talk
think,
to him.
And I think the Red Sox have a balance with that with not Tom Goodwin with their hitting coach. His name escapes me.
Gordon.
No,
Goodwin. No, not Goodwin.
He's
Not good. He's first base coach.
First base coach.
Gordon.
They've got
You're
two.
Gordon.
Well, they've got two hitting coaches. They've got two hitting coaches. I think one is more on the analytics side.
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't remember his name. But anyways, I think
What blows you away is Williams was on the analytics side before there were any.
Yeah.
Before there was any such thing.
Right, exactly.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You got to have both.
Yeah. And I think they try to do that on the pitching side too.
Yep.
Hey, did I tell you I saw a meteor?
Yeah, you said you're out in the.
Walking my dog 11 o'clock at night last month, and I turned around and looked at my house, and I saw this meteor streak across the sky, green tail and everything, all over the news. The CBS affiliate messaged me on Facebook. They saw my post. They want to.
Did they interview you?
They asked, and I said, I got 2 words for you. Area 51, aliens.
Aliens?
Yeah, they hung up on me.
Are you serious?
No. I declined. I said, I declined. They need to find an expert to talk to from Yukon or somewhere. Not a dumb idiot like me who was just walking his dog and saw this thing across the sky. I'm telling you, it was aliens.
Was it an alien?
Yeah.
So is Yaz going to be at Fenway next month?
I would think so. I would think he'd see.
Do you think he'll go into the broadcasting booth?
Yeah, it could be.
The only time I know of, they had that Yaz Day when they retired his number. He went up to the broadcasting booth for like an inning or two.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
He really stays under the radar.
Yep. He's my favorite too. Yeah. My other jersey has 8 on it.
I got to tell you something about Yaz, and again, what Sale did last year with all those, Poppy and Pedro and Ortiz breaking the curse. You can't, you'll never see the Francona years. You'll never see anything like that again.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Before '67, the Red Sox were a second-rate.
Sure.
5,000 fans would come to a game.
Right.
Ever since that year, he put the Red Sox on the map.
Absolutely.
Permanently.
Yep.
Okay, so no Yaz, no '67 season. No '67 season, no Red Sox Nations. Okay, that could be a little stretch, but I don't care. That's exactly what happened. He opened the door for them to be an elite team.
That's accurate.
Yep.
That's accurate. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's hope they get hot starting now, because the sooner the better. They got the Orioles coming up today, and won last night. So like you said, they won 3 in a row so far.
It's terrible what the owners have done to that franchise. What a great franchise, a great tradition, beautiful ballpark, and they just let them. Spend some money. Do something. Get a team for the fans. Fill that stadium up.
Totally.
I don't get it.
Totally agree.
I don't get it.
Even if they were the Red Sox arch rivals, to see a team like that, year after year, be a punching bag.
It'd be like seeing the St. Louis Cardinals in last place 5 years in a row.
Right.
Come on.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And the owners got money.
Sure.
He's in a they're a good city, a good area.
Yep.
Good area for fans. Good good area for a lot of things. They got a great ballpark.
Yep.
Built by Larry Lucchino.
Yes.
And
Now there's a guy that belongs in the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
He started the trend of the modern baseball parks. That's big.
Sure,
That's
sure.
huge.
Absolutely.
And he was one of the people that helped break the curse of the Bambino.
Yeah.
He's
Hey, San Diego, Baltimore, Boston, right?
Yep.
No doubt.
So
All right, we'll see if the Red Sox can get hot, see how they do today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Been a great time getting together with you. Usually not, but today's been pretty good.
all right. Okay.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great day.